Clown in a Cornfield is directed by Eli Craig, the man that brought you the film Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, which is one of my favorite horror comedies of all time. I love that movie so much. And this movie stars a pretty good cast here. You got Katie Douglas, you got Aaron Abrams, you got Will Sasso, and you got Kevin Durand. Really good cast right here. So let's see what we got in store here today. A fading Midwestern town in which Frendo the Clown, a symbol of bygone success, reemerges as a terrifying scourge. So yes, my theater did play this movie, and I was able to go check it out tonight here. And I gotta say, I was pretty excited for this movie. I wasn't super over the moon about it. I never really heard much about it. Heard some buzz coming out of South by Southwest, and it seemed like a cool, interesting new concept for a clown slasher. So of course I was willing to give it a chance. And this movie, I'm going to just cut it right to the chase. This movie is perfectly serviceable. This is not a great movie. I wouldn't even say this is one of the best horror films of the year. This is definitely not one of the worst horror films of the year, and definitely not one of the worst of the year. But to me, this is a perfectly serviceable horror film. This is a perfectly serviceable horror comedy that has some good laughs, for sure. It definitely has good laughs. I definitely liked our main performer here. I always forget her name for some reason. Katie Douglas, who plays as our main girl in this film. She did a really good job in this film, as did Aaron Abrams as her father. Will Sasso in this film plays as the sheriff. You guys remember him from Young Sheldon, Georgia Meredith's First Marriage, and the Three Stooges movie. Yeah, he plays as the sheriff in this film. He does a really good job in here too. Kevin Durand also is in this movie, but very limited screen time. But for what he's given in this movie, he's actually really solid. Now, and I will say for sure, the film was actually shot very well. I really like the, kind of 90s look and feel of this movie. The film starts out in 1991, but once the first kill happens, because, a lot of slasher films open up with a kill, and then you go to present day, it still feels like you got a lot of 90s aesthetic in there, which I think is actually pretty cool. But of course, with modern day flair. I really like the aesthetic of this film. I really like the production design. It's pretty cool. And the idea of, Frendo the Clown, I think is actually pretty cool. How it's how they kind of set it up is really, really cool. And I really like, the look of the killer, which is really solid. And there is good kills for sure. There's really solid kills. But ultimately, where my issues land with this movie, first of all, I think some of our side characters that Quinn, Katie Douglas's character, meets along the way, I think a couple of them, especially the two girls she's with, are honestly pretty freaking annoying. I was just oh my god, no. Oh my god. But like I said, there is still laughs to be had. Not every joke hits in this movie. Like I said, not every joke hits. I thought some of the characters are pretty annoying. And the biggest issue I think I honestly have with this film is the identity and the motivations of the killer. I think that's honestly a real common problem with a lot of slashers lately, is that they don't do a really good job of giving us good motivations of our killer. What their intention is, what they're, really trying to go for here. That's something I really admired about Thanksgiving, which is one of my favorite horror films of the decade and one of my favorite slashers of all time. I think what that film did so well was how they actually executed the reveal and the identity of the killer, and also the killer's motivation. It was a really cool motivation, how they kind of handled it down. But with films like Hard Eyes, Hell of a Summer, and this movie, I think they're not doing a great job of giving us cool reveals, trying to make us think. It's a lot of these killer reveals you do see coming a mile away. I know that's supposed to be a typical slasher film, and I like how they kind of flip the genre on its head here a little bit at certain points. Halfway through this film, they kind of flip it on its head a little bit, and they try to make you think of who the killers are. It's a cool way of doing it. But at the same time, you do see the killer coming, the reveal of the killer coming a mile away. And its motivations aren't really that well realized to me. But as a little overall experience for a horror film, as a horror comedy, it's fun enough. This is not going to be a movie that's, going to stand the test of time as like one of the best clown slashers out there. But, for what it is, it's fun. I had a good time. But it's not going to be one of those films where I'm going to be like, you need to go rush out to see it. This is like serviceable enough background noise to me. So if you want to watch a horror film and you just want to go kill an hour and a half, there's worse that you could do. I'm going to give Clown at a Cornfield a B-. Like I said, this movie is not awful. It's not great. Like I said, if you want to kill 90 minutes to see a horror film in theaters, there's way worse that you could do. But this is not one of those films, like I said, you got to go rush out to see. I would say go see Thunderbolts or Sinners. This is still fun enough, but if you want to go see it, do so. Have a good time. But anyways, that's my opinion. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of Clown in a Cornfield. Did you guys get a chance to see it? Have you read the book as well? Please let me know all that down in the comments below. Hit that subscribe button down below and that notification bar right next to it so you never miss a post. Hit that thumbs up and share this video. You guys know what to do. Anyways, guys, that's it for me tonight. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.